great to be with you. If you haven't seen the groundwork video before here, I encourage you to go back and watch it. We've had some other questions and comments. If you see, we finally got his wrap off. It looks amazing. We got a little short video in there to show you guys that. Hoping it doesn't fester. Sometimes if there's been a blemish there could be a little sliver of dead bone. I don't know if he got kicked or hit it on a rock, but he came that way to the place. He hasn't been sore on it. But yeah, a little bit of an infection. Had him on some antibiotics, mostly for safety, and had it wrapped. So he's out of that now. He's close to going home. So the big key now for me is A, thinking what they want to do, but not to kind of go like I'm going to be a great big horse trainer now, and in the last 2 days cover everything we didn't get to and try to force it down his throat. He's got a solid foundation, and I'm happy for that. It's plenty for them to work on. I think they'll be phenomenal at working on that and getting better. But yeah, it's just continuing as we have these last couple rides to work on our leg yield, our lateral, and we'll come through our left turn. And we just want to kind of continue to sharpen those skills and make them better and remind day in, day out. Just like if you were maybe, say, practicing a guitar or a dance, which really is what it is. It's two people, two partners. I guess it's not people, but two partners working on the dance moves. For me, the dance moves that we need to do to work a car, hit a polo ball, to create some dust for my little puppy there. It's continually working on these dance moves and softening. Again, it takes time to build the muscles and change habits. And the lateral here. And it's the same for me. You know, a few years ago, I quit chewing tobacco. I found some coffee pouches that helped me, so that habit was probably one of the hardest I've ever had. Seatbelts, really weird for me, hard for me. But it takes time. It took me years to develop liking saddles, and then, kind of starting to hike and rehab my knee. It takes time, just like him. And he's inclined. That's why it's so important when we start these young babies, and why it's not in a big hurry, and the fundamentals are so important, because I want that to be the fallback, the safety of. I want that to be the thing that they fall back to as their foundation. And he's had other foundation of bracing, and again, I'm all for bridle bits, but I still want that softness, because at the end of the day, that softness creates willingness. We can force people, we can force horses to do things, and it is a teamwork, but for me, I know it doesn't seem right for some people. A horse still is about doing a job for me. And so I have controlling interest, no different than like if you're a boss or something else. You have to learn to be firm, but fair. And when you make mistakes, you work at it. You go back and you work on those simple things. And as I'm working on those things, again, there is just a few basic moves that it doesn't matter what I'm going to do, whether it's going to be dressage or work on getting some haunches in here. There's a little try. Want him to come off my leg. Just barely starting, and I might use my little riding crop here to see if I can get him to step over there. And just get him to trot. That's all I want. In my crop, I can get him to step that hip over. But the willingness The willing communication and partnership comes in from a repetition. No different than my students at the clinics. I can't just show them and then they get it. It takes a lot of practice. And horses are a lot easier because there's a lot of words for one simple move saying, hey, step your butt to your right. Step your butt to your right. And if he doesn't find it, I can always take this left rein and say, hey, step your butt to your right. But I'd like to have him be independent there where he can keep his shoulder to the left. Step your butt to the right. That's the part that he has trouble in the lead. And if the shoulder comes, I'll just bring the shoulder back. There. Good. Just to try. Nice job. And again, we just work at it. But one thing that's going to make that a lot better is me doing a lot of leg yielding to the right and trying to keep him straight. Come over. And if he does it, then I have a little right flexion there. But I'm trying to keep him straighter all the time. And as I come in with that, right leg, there. Step to the left. Good. Left leg, step to the right. Good. Good. A little more hind, so we'll get a little more flexion. There we go. Good. And we'll step the hind to the right. Good. Sometimes I get dyslexic, all that. You guys ever get dyslexic when you're doing that rights, lefts? I know which way I'm talking about. The butt goes off away from the pressure. But it's really not away from the pressure. I'd like to go into because I open this outside door here. So if it doesn't, if I open that side and it doesn't come over there, then I'd start to feather my leg and kick there. Again, with the rhythm that he's walking. But when he does come off of that, oh, that was so nice. I didn't have to open very far. Keep walking. I didn't have to open very far. It's really soft. Not so much there, but I'm going to hold and wait there till I get a trot. Again, he has a mind of his own sometimes, and that mind might wander, or he might be thinking of something else. So I try to put those together more and more. Soft, we open the outside leg. Good. Want him just a little further lateral. There we go. So I block the forward by shortening this line. Shorten, shorten, shorten. There, when he gets soft, we release. That creates a little more lateral. I block the forward and leave that little leaky valve out to the side. I hold that flexion when I open. Hind to the right, sorry, front to the left. And I like that he's waiting there. I wish he could just reach back with that next step. There, like that. But I want him to stay soft. He's a little heavy on my left hand. So we'll keep him working at it. Again, there's a lot of little micro releases in there. Every step, every try we release. And then we redirect. If his feet are stuck, I might come in with my outside leg here and create a little energy. But as long as we have life, I'm just directing that life there. And he's starting to get a little more weight on that hind all the time. And he's starting to build a little more muscle all the time. Again, sometimes we use the hindquarters and getting a little heavy there. Good. Anytime he's going to get pushy, if his mind's ahead of where I'm at, I'm going to stop him back up. I want him to kind of pick me up, and then that helps. Again, I'll do lots of backing because as they get up under themselves, they start to work all that hip and that hind end muscles. But it's the same thing. See, when I take those hind feet up underneath there, they're gathering those feet. And one thing that I see people have a lot of trouble is when they're driving the hind, they don't really get the hind to isolate, but they kind of walk a little half circle and they let those front feet creep forward. And oh, I did a 180 there. Now the feet are starting to get up underneath him so he can turn. But the idea when we get the hindquarters is to get those feet coupled to get that flexion. Need to stop the forward. There, good, good. He can go lateral with the front. Then as his feet are coupled, it's easy for him to rock back there and reach that foot out. Again, I take the hind end so I can bring the front end through. And I do that on both directions. More hind. I want to have to kick him every step. I want him to find that until I get ready to stop. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. There. Now sit down and stop. Now you can reach. Good. Now, again, I've done this off the ground, and you've seen me do it with some other horses, but we'll see if we can do it with him. He's like, I don't know, I'm a little worried there. So when I go to reach for this flag, I'm going to hook this horn with my hand, so if he jumps sideways, I got a shot at going with him. Doggy dogs. Jess. Jess. Hey, Jess. Good, so we come here. If we've done our work on the ground, see if we can drive that hind. And he's not worried, and when I get ready to stop, now. Good, and then I can use this to bring the front through. Good. Again, I'm just using things, and he got a little worried. He's not seen it from his back before. The hind, I can always use the flag to help me there. And he's got to learn to kind of switch eyes. I want him to wait. That was a nice try. He's like, I got it this time. You don't have to bring that flag up. Good. So again, just because it's something that I really like and I'm getting ready to do, I don't want him taking over. It's nice that he's thinking that way, but I want him to wait here and find this stop. Good. And then wait on that drive and wait on that energy. Good. Good. He picks up a little energy. We'll take it away. And when I get a little change in one side, then I might go to the other. And I get my coil short on the inside. So if he got in trouble, I can get him bent and go to this one rein stop. There's the hind. Good. A little more back, so I get it out in front of him. A little more back. There you go. A little more back. Good. And I can help to block that area where I don't have to pull on him so hard. I don't have to bang on his sides. And at the same time, he gets more and more used to this flag. And we get, see, a little, not bad, but a little speed up there. I want to get him soft. If he gets too far pushing on my hands, like, oh, I might have to get away from the flag, I'm going to go ahead and stop him. There I picked up, but he didn't get soft. There we go. So we just expose him a little bit. And again, I want him gentle with the flag. So if he got scared, then I'd come back and start hitting him better. About walk the front around the hind there. Good. There's a nice move. I'm going to try to finish going right because that's the direction we were going. Good. And he's not perfectly anchored on the hind, but he's getting that weight back better. He's preparing to get back a little better all the time. And again, it's about progress. There's a difference between being picky. Right there, he's pushing through. I'm going to get that flag out in front of him to help drive him back. And I can go with him here. There, good. And then we'll get him soft. There. And I don't want him afraid of this. Get him to change eyes there. And that's one thing that I like about the flag is it makes noise. If we had a little more time, we'd be driving some colts on him around where the colts would be leaving and he'd have to kind of learn to rate. It's always a great job for a horse. But he's kind of just getting to that point to me where he's got some understanding of that. We can help him. Good. Get out of trouble there. Find that softness. Don't push through here. Don't push through here. Don't push through. I'd like that second. Now the second, I'm looking for 2 nice steps. He kind of does one and then steps forward. I want him to stay back there a little good, where he can continue to reach that foot. We're just going to tighten it this time. There's the hind. I'd like to get this rein a little more towards the base of his neck, would help him. But that's a nice start there. And again, when we drive, we go back to making sure he's okay. Making sure he's not worried about it. Good, nice soft feel. I'm aware of it. Wasn't really asking for it, which means I get to do a little less because he's getting a little more comfortable there. Good. Now the hind, and this is why we do that groundwork and we get him good here. Keep driving that hind. Still walking forward a little. There you go. I want just your butt. Good. There. Good. Nice and rhythmic. And getting pretty good. Again, we went not too long ago, just a few rides. Good. That's good enough with the hind. Where we were just getting kind of one step at a time. And then having to completely re-prepare. Stay back. Stay back. There you go. Good. And now we're working more and more where he can continue on with the dance steps and learn to balance his feet a little more. Hind to the left, front to the right has gotten better, but that's what we talked about earlier. That was where he started off being worse. Good. And so now, where he started being worse, he's starting to get better, which we had to overdo that side just a little bit because we needed that hind to the right to get better for his leads a little bit. And just before we cut the tape, I don't know if I'll get a chance tomorrow. So again, we haven't loped him in a couple days, so we can work at him getting soft. We'll take him up a little closer to the edge. Good. Change directions a little, check his hips out from a livening up standpoint. Again, always getting soft and releasing. I'd like him to carry himself a little more rather than, but it's taking us time to build that muscle development so that one day he can hold that position a little better for himself and learn to carry that bridle bit. Now he's kind of rushing out through here, so I'm going to put a little stop on that shoulder. Good. No, that's left lead. So we're going to slow him down. I don't need him rushing anymore in there. We'll do a little figure 8 or a serpentine here. Fading out on that shoulder a little. So we might spend some time. Again, we have to adjust to fit that situation. There, so less problem stepping out on that shoulder. Good. We'll let him build up a little. He's in it if he can make it. Whoop. Now he's switching. You got it. Good. Work on him getting soft here. It's a little try. There's the softness. Good. And we like to give him some time in that when we lope him. If he slows down, it's an opportunity here for us to get another transition. That's left lead. So I'm going to re-prepare a little off to his right there. Good. difference. See, there's a big difference right there. Great example. His head's in and he's given, but he's not turned loose. And when he turns loose, there's zero tension. So there's a difference between when he gives there a little and when he turns loose. Good. Do our half circle. We don't want to do so much. Right lead, not your shoulder. But he gets tired here on the right and then picks up. Well, he can be posty sometimes. If he gets tired in one lead, or he starts to revert back to that old habit, let him trot a ways here. I'm not even going to ask him for the lope. I'm just going to let him trot here a ways. We don't want him to revert back to his old habit. So by letting him trot here a little ways, I'm going to make it a little bit more difficult where it's going to get a little easier to get into that lope like that. And he chose that. I didn't ask for it. So I just gave him some time there. Keep going. Like him to get soft. Again, we don't do a ton of cantering at this stage, so he hasn't had a lot of chances to get soft here. Good. We'll let him slow down. We'll get him soft. Turn loose soft, not just giving soft. There. We're going to shorten that trot. I want him to get soft here at a shorter trot. Good. We'll get him to gather up. Work on a little shorter steps so he's not always so chargy. There. And again, since I asked when I shorten up here, I want to stay at that rhythm. It's nice when I release, he's not speeding up. But I want to get a bunch of soft feels, just like at the walk, to where it's the first thing, not like 10 seconds. There. Then I'll slow down. Because, again, if I only do it once in a while and get 2 or 3 changes in there, I've got to teach him how to get nice from that very beginning, from that first step. If I just get him soft and go, okay, that's good enough. But it takes him 20 or 30 steps to get soft. Nice. Good. I've never really advanced. So when I work on that, I want to work on it until it becomes the first step and not the 30th step. All those steps stayed nice. He walked out of it a little. I'm just going to direct that energy. Give him just a little breather. Let him walk a little bit as he gets that breather. Head there a little. He says he didn't give me enough time. So we'll give him a little more time. I'm going to go back to that fast trot, work on my soft from the fast trot. Good. Good. We'll let him extend out a little more. Still want him to get soft from that fast trot. Take him up to the edge, and we'll ask for that lope. Good. Now we'll work on that soft feel from the lope. There, that was pretty instantaneous. He flips his nose. I'm gonna get him soft. Get him soft. There, it's taking him a little time. Good. Soft. There. Soft. Take a hold. If I have to slow down, I will. You can't walk though. You gotta work at it. There. You gotta work at it. Get soft. Good. Fix my McCarty here a little bit. Leg yield him a little because he's getting a little pushy. So I'll take his hip away from him there a little bit. Take his hip away from him there a little bit. Take his hip away from him there a little bit. Take his hip away from him. There we go. See, they don't push with their mouth. They push with their hip, with their loin, through that flank. There. That's what makes the earlier stages. Good. And we'll go off into that lope a little harder because we don't have quite the control of it yet. There, he got soft pretty soon. Almost instantaneous. Now out here, he tends to take a little longer. And get a little pushier. So far, every time he's gotten soft. Good. We'll open. We'll work on him getting soft. Now he gets soft through here. Gotta get soft. You can't shove me out of the way. Good. Again, it's all chances at another right lead. Turn to the right of that barrel. And get soft. Good. Waiting on a try. There. Good. Again, we don't want to ignore the left lead. We'll do more to the right. There. Get soft. Come down to the trot. Leg yield, hip in. Good. Come on. There. Soft. Soft. Good. We'll come down to the trot. Good. Soft. There, we finally started to not push through there. Don't push through my hands there. At the trot, I can ask him to come back to the stop a little more if he starts pushing. So when I stop my hands, if he keeps going, he pushes into it. Because he's thinking ahead. He's thinking kind of dragging me out of that saddle. Because that's work for him. So I do get him soft. And I do sit down here. But then when he doesn't listen, I just stop my hands. And then he's got to come There, he's starting to listen to my hands a little more, like maybe I don't need to continue on. We'll do our little cow move. Nice. Stayed relaxed. Sit down. Pushed a little bit, but not through with his feet, just his head. But I don't want to do this. Sit down. There, he kept going. So he pushes in his own mouth. I don't want to do that at the lope because I want him to lope a little more, feel a little more comfortable at that lope. Good. I sit down. Good with the feet. There's the head. Then we release. Then we'll rock back till he starts off soft. Not just a step. Good. I want a couple nice soft steps in there. Forgot to say it out loud. And if I'm being honest, I think I forgot to get completely soft too. He wasn't thinking quite back to me. Like here, when I get him soft, he's thinking back to me. Sit down and stop. Good. Release. Good. Continue on back. I want my horses good and turn so I don't run over the dog. But I should be able to back a ways here with him staying soft. There might come a time when I get stuck. And I've had this happen once on the side of a cliff, and I gotta walk a ways back because there's nowhere to go at the end of the cliff. So I want him good and not impatient there. To kind of go back. Plus, he needs lots of practice there. And he needs practice to where we go backwards. There, see, that's it. Because otherwise, a lot of times I just turn it into a step or two and he gets nicely quit. And yes, I want him to start nice there. But I want him to go backwards again. There's a time where I've got my rope there and he's got to come back and get soft, and I might be kind of keeping track of some things here. And he's got to keep track of some things on his own. So in time I get to where I can kind of push back in these stirrups and have them continue back if they get a little stuck, because I've got a cold dilate or something else. I need them to fill in their job a little bit more. Right now it's me helping him a little bit. And me helping you. So anyways, it's probably a good place to stop the video and we'll work on it just a little more. It's pretty close to it. There's been a couple places where I could have quit. This right circle, not quite as good. Shoulder to the right there. There we go. And I'll show you guys again. That jaw muscle right here is the muscle that he builds when he braces, and it's really prevalent on this other side. It's very defined. Like, I can't really back right and have you see it there, but it's really kind of bulges out there where it's super hard, like a rock. And so he's got to learn to soften that muscle and not brace it. And I have to be fair here and be consistent and just holding. Oh, there we go. Didn't get to his feet, but he started at least to travel through the pole there and down his neck. Now the feet are stuck, and I just hold and wait on that barrier. I match that barrier till he can find that soft place to come out. But him just starting off there soft is a start. But I don't want him just to bob his head and get soft there. If I I do too much of that, pretty soon he just bobs his head. So when his head comes in, I create a new barrier. And then at that point, I want the softness to travel. It kind of goes right to his feet right now. And I'd like to travel through his body a little more. That's a little better for you guys to see. There. Start to go through the body. There, down to the feet. Now it's braced at the head. And that's where I don't, when I release here, I want him to kind of carry on here. That's how I want him to back there, see? If I release, pretty soon he just bobs his head. So I release and restart when he's really braced. But as that starts to travel through and I release, if he has some momentum there, I'd like this momentum to carry through so he learns to back like this. That's how I wanted it to start, see? And so there's times that I break it loose, and when I get him soft and stop him, if he pushes into that. But then we come back, see, and it just kind of goes, it gets dead here. So I draw again. There, it's out his feet. When I get some rhythm, I'll release. There, and there it kind of continues on. Light. Now I'd like it to start here, see, but I got to draw that energy, and he overflexes at the chin, because it doesn't correlate to the feet all the, there we go. Time. And it's not just about him tucking his chin on his chest here. It's about him reaching back for me there. Make sure I don't hit that garbage can. There. And he can stay soft. One day I'd like to be here, and have him back, see? So I just keep fixing it up, and I'd release halfway, and I got to build my way there. So anyways, hope you enjoyed it. It's nice. It got a little windy, but I got me a new fuzz ball. Lost all my fuzz balls. There's so many, but thank you to all of you people who told me which microphone and that microphone to get, but believe it or not, I have like 6 different sound systems. This one is my favorite because it goes a long ways. I can get a mile down the road and you can still hear me and it won't cut out. You won't be able to see me, but it's what I use for my clinics and my teaching, and at the end of the day, YouTube is trying to give you some stuff. But hey, if you can't hear it, you don't understand it, you want commentary, ask. You can look me up on the net, but ask. I'm happy to help you. That's why I kind of got into this, is to help other people. So if you need clarification, if you don't go to that next step and ask, that's on you. And I don't mean that wrong, but you gotta learn to ask for help in this world. You gotta learn to talk to others, share your story, share your knowledge, but most of all, enjoy the journey. Happy trails.